Good morning, students. Welcome to the fourth lecture of the chapter 10. So here, today we are going to discuss the remaining disease of the chapter 10. So remaining disease is to be the first one is the elephantiasis. So elephantiasis is also known as a filariasis. Then causative agent for the elephantiasis is a Vaucheria bronchiecti and Vaucheria malayi. Then filarial worms. This is the infection due to the filarial worms, that is the helminths. So here the elephantiasis and filariasis is caused by a worm. So it is a worm infection. So the causative agent, the name of that worm is to be the Vaucheria bronchiecti and Vaucheria malayi. See, both are the worms which is commonly called as a helminth, which enters your body through the mosquito bite. So here mosquito plays an important role for the vector to transmit the disease from person to person. So epidemiology is to be bite of the female mosquito vector. The name of that mosquito vector is to be the Clux. CLCULEX. This is the name of the mosquito. So bite of the female vector mosquito Clux is responsible for the transmission of the elephantiasis or the filariasis from person to person. So here, see, this is the type of the mosquito which is the Clux. Especially, it can be recognized by a striping pattern present on their legs. If the striping, it is black in color and striping pattern present in their legs, then it is to be the mosquito Clux. So it is easily knowing by seeing the strip pattern on their legs. So biting of the female mosquito vector Clux is responsible for the elephantiasis. Then after this one, once it is entered to the body, once it is entered to the body, it goes to the lymphatic vessel of a lower limb and genital organ. So these are the site of action of a filariasis, that is a worm, that is a Vaucheria bronchiecti or the Vaucheria malayi. So once it is entered to our body, the first organ is a lymphatic vessel and the second organ is a genital organ. So these are the two types of the, and especially the lower limbs. So this is the lower legs is a, especially the limbs or the lymphatic vessels is the lower limb, the lower area of the leg. So this is a special area where it is to be the targeted. Then the symptoms: chronic inflammation of an organ. It takes a many years for the development. Lymphatic vessels which result in the appearance of a elephant-like leg. It is also called as a elephantiasis. So leg become a elephant-like leg. It is appearing due to the inflammation. That is a chronic inflammation occurring in the lymphatic vessels of a lower limb. And due to that one, the legs is appearing like a elephant leg, and so it is called as a elephantiasis. Then deformation of the genital organ. So here deformation of the genital organ is to be the takes place. So this is a mosquito where the white color strips is present on the leg area. Then this is a worm under the microscope, and this worm is responsible for the cause the elephantiasis or the filariasis, and the causative organism is to be the Vaucheria bronchiecti. Then in case of a filariasis, see how the legs is appear. In this figure, you see the how the leg is to be the appear. It is look like a elephant's leg, so it is called the elephantiasis. So it is a lower limb area or the lymphatic organ which is chronically inflamed due to this the worm. So here this is a mosquito. This mosquito is bite to human being. So here two stages of the development is there. This is the human stage and this is mosquito stage. So this is the mosquito when bite to the human being. So what happened after the biting of the human being? The targeted region is the limb area of the human being and a genital region. Only this one, this area is the target area for the filariasis. So these are the worms. It is entering through the mosquito to human being, then it goes to the limb area and the genital area and it start to develop, and it developed in the limb, and it is going migrated through the blood to the that part of the body. Then it comes to the blood area. Again the mosquito is sucking the blood from the infected person. So once the mosquito is sucking from the infected person, then that mosquito is containing this type of the worm inside their duct area. Then these are to be the again by the normal person. Then the infection is transmitted from the person to person, because this worm infection is circulated through the blood channel, so it is present in the blood. Once the blood is sucked by a once a blood is sucked by a mosquito, then it comes to the mosquito, and then this mosquito again bite to the normal person. That time it is entered to normal person. In this way the filariasis or the elephantiasis is transmitted through the vector mosquito from person to person. Why it is called as the elephantiasis? Because the due to the inflammation of the chronic lymphatic system in the lower limb area, the leg become a elephant like leg, so it is called the elephantiasis. Then the these worms is to be the transmitted through the mosquito, that is a female mosquito clux. Then after the elephantiasis you have a next one is to be the AIDS. The long form of the AIDS is to be acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So disease is caused by a deficiency of human system. So here the deficiency of the immune system is takes place. So it is known as a acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. AIDS syndrome or the disease syndrome or the acquired during the lifetime of an individual, indicating that it is not a congenital disease. So it is not to be transferred by any utensils, then the shake hand and the skin contact. It is only transmitted by the only few, that is blood, then the infected syringes, then the organ transplantation, then the sexual contact. So these are the transmission of the AIDS disease. So here it is not a congenital disease, but once it is get, then it is acquired for a lifetime. The first report is 1981. Last 25 years, 25 million persons will be killed due to the AIDS, because we don't have such a type of the any vaccines regarding this viral infection. Then causative agent or the causative organism for the AIDS is human immunodeficiency virus, commonly known as HIV virus. So HIV virus means human immunodeficiency virus. So long form of the HIV is to be the human immunodeficiency virus. It is comes from the family of the retrovirus. So it is a family of retrovirus. Retro means it consisting as a RNA as their genetic material. So RNA is present inside this virus, having a RNA genome enclosed with the protein code. So here the RNA is present. So in this diagram, see here how the HIV virus is look like. So these are the two cell wall is present, that is we call it as a protein coat. On this protein coat we are having a protein um, glycoproteins are present on that coat, and inside that the capsid is present, and inside the capsid RNA as genetic material is present. So this is the red color is a RNA genetic material, and this blue color is a reverse transcripted enzyme is present with the association with the RNA virus. So this is the structure of a HIV virus. So AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused due to the HIV. HIV means human immunodeficiency virus, and it is comes from the family of retrovirus. It consisting of the RNA in the protein coat and associated with the reverse transcripted enzyme. Then mode of transmission of the HIV infection. First is sexual contact with the infected person. So this is the most important thing. The number of time they ask the question on this one. Okay. So describe the mode of transmission of the HIV virus. First is sexual contact with the infected person. Second one is by transmission of a contaminated blood and the blood product. Then by sharing the infected needle, as in case of a intravenous drugs is abused. So whenever the person is taking the drugs in the intravenously and same needle of the infected person is to be the share, then it is transmitted from the infected person to the healthy person. Then fourth one is from the infected mother to her child through the placenta. So these are the major four mode of transmission of the HIV infection. Okay. First is
मैम
sexual.
प्लासेंटा क्या होता है मैम?
Huh?
मैम
Hello?
प्लासेंटा का मतलब क्या है?
Placenta means here the baby is connected with a mother by a umbilical cord or small cord that is called as a placenta, from where the mother is nourished the baby when it is present inside her or the in the present in womb area or the uterus area. That is called as a placenta.
ओके मैम.
Okay. So here the transmission is takes place first by the sexual contact with the infected person. Second one is transmission of the contaminated blood or the blood product. So blood product is to be the RBC, WBC, then the platelets. All these are to the even plasma also they are nowadays used for the treatment. So these are the blood product. All if it is to be the contaminated, then it is transferred from the contaminated blood to the healthy person. Second one is the sharing the infected needle, and fourth one is the mother to the child through the placenta. So these are the mode of the transmission. The individual with the multiple sexual partner. The next one is to be the individual with the multiple sexual partner. Then it is to be the transfer. Second one is the drug addicts who takes the drugs intravenously. Individually who require the repeated blood transmission, and a child born with the HIV infected mother is a high chance of the getting the disease AIDS. So here these are the four things from where the high chance of the getting the AIDS disease. First one is a multiple sexual partner. Second one is a drug addict. Third one is a drugs taken by the intravenously, and a mother to the baby. Sometimes the person is suffering from disease, and that times the person is getting the repeated blood transmission. In that time, that infected blood may be the comes in contact with the healthy one and get the infection. So these are the major chances of a get the HIV infection and cause a AIDS disease. Then the cause of the HIV infection, body fluids only, not the touch or the physical contact is not transmitted. So here body fluid is not to be responsible to transmit the HIV infection. So here touching the person, shaking hands, so all these are not to be the transmitting the HIV infection. Then it takes a few months to the few days. So 5 to 10 years also takes in between the infection to the appearing the AIDS syndrome. So if the person is getting the infection, it takes a few months to show the sign and symptoms regarding the AIDS infection or the HIV infection. Sometimes it is to be the 5 to 10 year also. That period in between the infection and appearing of the AIDS disease is called as a window period. So in that window period, the person is having the infection but not showing any type of the sign and symptoms of that disease. So that period is known as a window period. So that is a period where the infection is to be the gate, but the not showing any type of a sign and symptoms.
मैम HIV के लिए मैं हमारे पास मैम वैक्सीन है क्या मैम कि नहीं?
नहीं, अभी तक वैक्सीन नहीं निकली है, एंटीबायोटिक्स है लेकिन वैक्सीन नहीं है. Then mechanism of the action of the replication of
मैम दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या है मैम, एंटीबायोटिक और वैक्सीन?
antibiotics are prepared by a chemical preparations or chemical combinations in the factory. Vaccine is prepared from the live bacteria virus. So it is a live vaccine or killed from a bacterial cell or the virus cell. It is called as a vaccine. And whenever we are to prepare the antibiotics, then it is a chemical composition prepared in an industry. Okay, so these are the major difference between them. Then second one is a mechanism of action. So HIV is a RNA containing virus. Then the structure include the RNA strand with the reverse transcripted enzyme with the protein code. So already we have seen that the how the structure is to be. It is the protein code where the RNA strand present inside the core and with association with the reverse transcripted enzyme. Target cell of the HIV is to be the macrophages and helper T lymphocytes. And due to that one, the person become a deficiency in the immune system. So they are directly attacking the macrophages. We both are to be the macrophages and T helper cells. Both are to be the immunity developing or the immunity developing cells, or the it is control the infections. So here this HIV is to be the macrophages and T helper cells are the targeted of the HIV. So it directly comes to the blood and it attacking on the macrophages and the T lymphocyte cells. HIV first bind to the receptor on the host macrophages where the fusion of the HIV is to be the takes place. So here HIV binds to the receptor on the host macrophages where the fusion of the HIV takes place. So once it is comes in HIV virus, it comes in the blood, it attacking on the macrophages and the fusion between the macrophages and HIV takes place. HIV RNA or viral RNA release in the cytoplasm which undergoes the reverse transcription with the reverse transcripted enzyme HIV DNA and viral DNA. So this HIV RNA or the viral RNA which is present inside the protein coat which is released in the cytoplasm. Once it comes to the receptor with the help of macrophages, then they release their RNA into the cytoplasm of them. Then after they are releasing, they with the help of a reverse transcripted, they changes its positions. They invert their position. Reverse transcript. Reverse means back. Reverse transcripted enzyme. So with the help of reverse transcripted enzyme, they changing its positions. They become the RNA to the DNA, DNA to the RNA, like the viral DNA, then the viral RNA. So in this way, it is changed due to the reverse transcripted enzyme. The viral DNA enters the host nucleus and it integrates with the host DNA transcriptase. And the new viral RNA forms the viral genome and some translate in the cytoplasm in the new viral protein. So how it is to be the produced? So once it is in the comes in the cytoplasm, then the viral genome is translate and produce a new copy of that one and the new protein around them and the new virus is to be the produce. In the viral protein and the RNA moves to the surface of the cell and binds off in the new HIV virus. So viral proteins and the RNA moves to the surface of the cell. It may be macrophages, it may be the T lymphocyte cells and it binds to the HIV one. Then they targeted the helper T cell lymphocyte and replicates and produce the progeny virus and reduce the helper T lymphocytes. So they are used the T lymphocyte for the reproduction, replications, and once it is replicated, that times the T lymphocyte may kill. So here reduce in the T helper cell and increase in the HIV progeny in the blood is takes place. So person become a immunodeficiency. Symptoms. The HIV patient shows the following symptoms. HIV attacks the helper T lymphocyte and reduces the helper T lymphs, which cause a severe cellular immunodeficiency. So here the directly HIV attack the T helper cell, and due to that one the reduction in the T helper cell inside our blood is takes place, and due to that one the cellular immune deficiency is caused. So this is the first type of immunodeficiency where we have to produce. Second one is a bout of fever, diarrhea, and weight loss. So fever maybe that takes place sometime, and sometime it is not to be, but the diarrhea is to be there and the weight loss is to be there. So the person having HIV infection is continuous weight loss. Diarrhea is sometimes then highly susceptible to the mycobacterium, that is a mycobacterium tuberculosis, especially mycobacterium tuberculosis, because it is a bacteria which is comes inside our body through the inhalation. So it is present in the air, and the person is having HIV infection is also same time having an inhalation, then respiration is takes place, and with the help of that one the mycobacteria enters to their body. Then the virus, fungi, parasite like toxoplasm. So person is a low immunity. So the all these the bacteria, viruses and fungi, parasite is attacking on that person, and person is highly susceptible. So the person is easily catch that infection. So first is a mycobacterium. The a number of time it is seen that the person having the HIV infection is with a susceptible to the mycobacterium tuberculosis. The person is caused the TB. So here that person is very low immunity, and due to that one this bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite are attacking that person, and person is highly susceptible to get that infection. Infected person become a opportunistic for the infection. So again same point is there. So this, if the person is infected with the HIV, that time it is a very good opportunity for the different type of a infection, because the person do not have any type of a good immunity, so the person catches the infection very easily. Then diagnosis and treatment. For the diagnosis, we are having the AIDS is an enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. That is we call as a ELISA. ELISA test is carried out for the AIDS disease. To diagnose the person is having the AIDS disease or not, you have to perform the enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is the name of the test. It is conducted with the help of the blood. The blood is taken from the infected person, and then it's sent to the laboratory for the ELISA test. ELISA, ELISA test. Long form of the ELISA is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is the name of the test where the test is carried out. If that test is to be the positive, then the person is suffering from the AIDS virus. The treatment of the AIDS with the antiretroviral drugs. Antiretroviral drugs, that is antibiotics, are present, which is to be the um, stop the multiplication of this retrovirus, that is HIV inside your body. It not to kill, but it stop to multiplication. So person is having the control on the disease spreading. So this is the treatment, that is antiretroviral drugs is given to the HIV or the AIDS patient. Partially effective drugs only the prolong the life of the patient, but cannot prevent the death, which is inevitable. So here when we are prescribed the any drugs to that AIDS patient, that time only it can be prolong the life of the patient, but cannot be prevented from the death. Because what happened with that patient, the very less immunity is there, other infection is comes, and due to that one the person is especially goes for the their life is to be the disturbed due to the various type of the infection. The prevention of AIDS. Again, this is a very important topic of the syllabus, and they are asked the question on many of times. How you prevent from getting the HIV infection, and prevention from the describe about the prevention of the AIDS. The first one is educating people to generate awareness amongst them. National AIDS Control Organization, that is NACO, and other non-governmental organization NGOs. Through the NGOs and NACO, So with the help of NACO and NGOs, the people must be educated or the general awareness regarding to the AIDS or the HIV infection. So here first is educating people to generate awareness amongst them. So there is a two agencies, National AIDS Control Organization, that is the NICO, National AIDS Control Organization, and the other non-governmental organization, NGOs. Then the WHO, who started a number of a program to prevent the spreading to the HIV infection, which includes first making a blood safe from the HIV. So first of all, you have to test the blood from the HIV infection. If it is negative, then this blood is comes to the blood bank and it is given to the healthy person. If it is to be with the HIV infection, then it is discarded. Ensuring the using only the disposable needle. Second one is ensuring that one, whenever you are getting the injections or injected the vaccines or any type of antibiotics inside our body, that time use the disposable needles or the syringes. uh, in case of especially the public and the private hospitals and clinics. Okay, so ensuring the use of the disposable needle and syringes in the public, private hospitals and the clinics. Free distribution of the condoms. So there must be the control in a sexual contact. So controlling the drugs abuse. So here, whenever the person is taking the drugs, you have to control or they are educated for the drugs abuse. Then the educating the safe sex with the promoting the regular checkup for the HIV and the susceptible population. So here, person must be having the safe sex with the partner, because if the person is having the HIV infection, then it is easily transmitted from that infected person to the healthy one. Then the infection with the HIV or the having the AIDS is some things that should not be the hidden, since then the infected may be the spread by the many more people. So whenever the person getting the HIV infection, that person should not be hide that HIV infection. That person must go for the laboratory and check the blood regularly to know the HIV infection or having a AIDS, and taking antibiotics or the any type of retroviral treatments and retroviral technique. And then to the infected person, if the infected person is hide that disease from the society, then there are many chances to spread this disease from the society. So here the person should not be hide that infection. So these are the prevention of the AIDS. First of all, educating the people to generate the awareness. Second one is to be the taking sure the fresh or the good blood or the non-HIV infected blood from the blood bank. Third one is to be the ensuring the use of the only the disposable needles while into the public, private hospital as well as in the clinic. Then next is the free distribution of the condoms in the person. Then the controlling of the drugs abuse, educating the safe sex, and the HIV infection should not be hidden from the society. So these are the prevention of the AIDS. So you have to remember all these 4 to 5 points, because there's a number of time ask the questions. Then after the HIV, the next disease is a cancer. Cancer is also known as a malignant tumor. Is a group of disease involving the abnormal growth with the potential to invade or the spread of other parts of the body. So here the cell is showing a abnormal cell growth is known as to the cancer. So cancer is known as a malignant tumor, or the group of the disease involving the abnormal growth of the cell is known as a cancer. Then consider as the one major cause of the death in overall the world. It is one of the major diseases where the death is to be takes place due to the severity process of the oncogenic transformation of the cell. It is its treatment and the control required most intense area of the research in the biology and medicines. So oncogenic transformation of the cell, it is the genetic engineering process, recombinant DNA technology. All these are to be the things where and the work is to be the takes place. So for this one, the nowadays the research in the biology and medicine is control all the treatment of the oncogenic transfer of the cells from the persons. Then here though, so this is a good area where you can be take a research and having another good treatment for the cancers. Cancers can be induced by the external factor, that is the carcinogens. Carcinogens means it is a chemical which is causes a cancer. Carcinogenic chemicals which enhance the activity of the oncogenes which is present inside our body. Once the oncogenes comes in contact with the carcinogenic chemicals, then it is to be the converted that cell into the cancerous cell, and when it become a cancerous cell, then it is to be the having an uncontrolled growth, and when the uncontrolled growth of the cell is takes place, it causes a cancer. Most common cancer in the worldwide is to be here. The here even the lungs cancer is more, that is 1.4 million. Then stomach is to be the, then colon is, liver is, breast is. So these are the cancer that's caused with the most death in the 2007 to the till date. So lungs cancer, stomach cancer, cervical cancer, then the colorectal cancer, the breast cancer, then the orophagus cancer, lungs cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, then the prostate cancer and the colorectal cancer. So these are the types of the cancers which is the most commonly found in the worldwide, and death is to be the takes place. Cause of the cancer. Normal cells transform into the cancerous cell is a neoplastic cells by the physical, chemical, and biological agent. These agents are called as a carcinogenic agent. When the normal person is transformed, these are cancerous non-plastic cells by a physical, chemical, and biological agent. That is to be the carcinogenic. So physical agents are to be the ionization radiation like X-ray, gamma ray, non-ionizing radiation, and UV rays. So all these are the radiation. When the person is more exposed to the X-rays, gamma rays, and UV rays, then the person may cause the cancer, because these are the carcinogenic material. When the carcinogenic material comes in contact with the person, the cancerous cell become activate. Then the chemical agent like a tobacco smoke, sodium azides, methyl ethane, sulfonate, all these are the chemical agents. When the person is get in the contact with them, the person may cause a cancer. The biological agent is to be the cancer causing the virus is called as the oncogenic virus, having a gene called as a viral oncogenes, including the transformation of the neoplastic cells. Then the cancerous oncogenes, that is C oncogenes, proto-oncogenes in the normal cells, then activated leads to the oncogenic transformation to the normal cell. So here it is a one type of a viral where the virus having a oncogenes. If this virus is entering inside your body, then the person is having an oncogenic virus. When this oncogenic virus is there, then there the person may causes a cancer. Then the cellular oncogenes is there, with cellular oncogenes comes in a contact with the normal cell, it enters to the normal cell, it comes in contact with the normal cell, and the normal cell become an oncogenic cell, and when the oncogenic cell is there, then the person is become a cancerous one. So these are the three causes: physical, chemical, biological agent. Physical agent is X-ray, gamma ray, UV rays. Chemical agent is a tobacco smoke, so sodium azide and the methyl ethane sulfonate. All these are the chemical agent. The biological agent is a viral oncogenes and cellular oncogenes. So these are the three causes of the cancer. Then mechanism of the transfer of the cancerous cell. If the cancerous cell is to be the transformed, so here the cell growth and the differentiated in the highly controlled and the regulatory control lack of the cancerous cell. Normal cell shows the property that the contact inhibition inhibits the uncontrolled growth. Cancer cell appears to have a lost its property. As a result of this, the cancerous cell just continue to divide, giving rise to the mass of the cell is called as a tumor. So here, once the one cell is to be the affected or the cell growth due to the cancerous one, it is not to be the transmitted with the second cell or the neighbor cell. So it is not to be the having a property with the contact inhibition. Only that cell is lost its property due to the cancerous cell, and this cancerous cell is to be the continue to divide, and the mass of the cell is occur, and this is we called as a tumor. Then see there, these are the two type of the structures where the cancerous cell is to be there. So this is a normal cell and this is a cancerous cell. When the normal cell is to be there, this is a normal in size, normal in nucleus, normal in nucleocytes, normal in chromatid. But when it is become a cancerous, when it is a smaller in cytoplasm, then the nucleus is a not in good condition. So this is a cancerous cell, this is a normal cell. So here this is a normal cell growth and this is a cancerous cell growth. And due to that one, the tumor-like structure is formed. So this is the tumor-like structure due to the division of the cancerous cell. This cell is not going for the divide continuously rapidly, but these cells are going the continuous division and rapidly division, and so that lump of the cell is produced, and this lump of the cell is known as to be the tumor. So this is the normal cell and this is the normal cell, but in between them these are the cancerous cell, and these cancerous cells are continuously growing, and due to that one tumor is formed. Type of tumors. The tumors are to be the first one is a benign tumors. Normally remain the confirmed by the original location, do not spread by the other location, cause little damage. It is only the one type of a tumor where it is to be the small type of a tumor is produced. It is not spread in the other location. If it is to the brain tumor, it is in the brain. It is the stomach tumor, it is in the stomach. It is not migrated from the stomach to the liver or the stomach to the other area. So that is area where it is to be the located, and it cause a little damage. It is not to be the too much. You have to the operate. The operation will be there, and you have to easily remove that benign tumor. Benign tumor means it is an initial tumor present in the any area of your body or the origin location. It is not spread overall body. So the malignant tumor is the mass of proliferation of the cell called as a neoblastics. So whenever the neoblastic means it is a very big mass of a proliferated cell is called the neoblastic. The tumor cells, these are grow very rapidly, invalidate the damage surrounding the tissue. Then these are the actively divided and grow. They have to the starve the normal cells. Cancerous cell escape from the site of the origin and move to the distant places from by the blood, and whenever they ask to getting to the cancerous one. So here this a malignant tumor is a bigger one as compared to the beginning tumor. So it is to be the very big proliferated mass of the tumor cell. It damages the surrounding tissue and surrounding cells. It is very rapid growth. Even though this malignant tumor is comes to the blood and it is transported or moves to the distant places through the blood. So it is a very defective cancerous cells, that is a malignant tumor. Then the detection of a cancer. So you can be detect the cancer by these three tests, that is a biopsy or the histopathology. Then second one is a radiography, that is a X-ray or the CT scan. Then MRI, that is a magnetic resonance imaging or the antibody